Good morning, everybody. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to another video. I decided to do like an in-person video today. We got a little basic outfit on today. We got a mirror. And if you also love this outfit, you'll probably love the LPS necklaces that I'm selling. Ooh, promo. I'm saving up for bills next year, y'all. Anyways, today's video is really exciting. Today's video is actually talking about LPS like creations, films, series, etc. that their themes don't get talked about that often. And so I'm bringing these up in case you are looking for something with this topic. Just know that this will not be kid friendly at all. This is not for kids. So if you are a child or if you can't, if you prefer non-adult topics, this might not be the video for you. I will be making a video at some point about more kid-friendly topics, but today is mainly just focused on adult content. So let's begin. The very first series I'm talking about is from Valentina LPS, and they made a series called The Watchmaker. Now, The Watchmaker is about this girl, and ever since she was younger, she's been obsessed with this watch, and the watch used to be her mother's. Unfortunately, the watch broke, and her mother is no longer there. And so, but she's been really wanting it, but it doesn't work. Her father went and got it fixed, thank God. And when she went to go press the buttons here, oh my God, she ended up in the 1960s. Was it the 60s? I know it was another year. She just went all the way back in time, and now she's stuck in time with this watch. Second one I'm going to talk about is Goldwing. Honestly, when I first looked at Goldwing, I thought that it was going to be like about superheroes, maybe like give me Experiment 42 vibes, just because of like the costumes and stuff, but that's not what it's about. It is in fact about child grooming. So if this topic is not for you, highly recommend maybe not checking it out. But this is about a young actor, and it shows the manipulation of a woman that's so much older than him, grooming him and making him be like, I'm gonna make you a star. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I just realized my other light's not on. Oh my God, that looks so much better. Anyway, but she's like, I'm gonna make you a star. I'm gonna take care of you. You know, pretty much like it's within like the acting industry, child grooming, I guess. And I was like, I wasn't expecting this route, guys. I'm not gonna lie here. I'm gagged. That was not the route I was expecting. But I would say it's a pretty good series. And yeah, this technically would go into like the drama series, I guess, but LPS Adolescence is great. But there is like a lot of topics in there that might not be the best, like revenge porn and manipulation and abuse and all those things. But it is about this girl, and she starts off with this really big group of friends, and one of her friends makes a joke about her liking this guy, and she gets all defensive and she's like, I don't like him. She realizes that her friend has a crush on this man too. So you get to watch the villain perspective, the Brooke Hayes-esque perspective of this main character. Low-key, she's a lot worse than Brooke Hayes, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you. But it's just very interesting to see that kind of like perspective instead of just being like popular girls fighting. Instead, it's like showing her mental health space and her perspective, and also her doing things that are not great. I hope she gets help though. I really do. I like the series. I hope she gets help though. Next, we have Mystery of the Masked Killer. Oh, that's such a good series. I believe there's only 2 episodes out right now, last I checked. And it's basically about this girl. She's a reporter, and she has been given the case of the masked killer that has been walking around town. Now, little does she know that the masked killer works with her, and she has absolutely no idea. And so we get to watch that whole storyline unfold, I guess. And I would like, it's not really a spoiler because like it's it's pretty shown. It is pretty shown in like the first episode, like, yeah. And so she has to do this like report on the mass killer, but she also has to work with the guy who is the mass killer. And so it's a whole thing. She has no idea. Nobody knows. Ooh. So there's this other series. I haven't finished it, honestly, but it's by LPS Sophia Alexander. I'll have to check. All these creators will be listed, by the way. And she made a book about like, help, I'm trapped in a romantic fantasy novel. And it was about this woman, and she, her husband passed away. And so she made a book series where one of the characters named Maximilian was made inspired by her husband type deal. And a lot of people have been like theorizing it. They're like, is he inspired by her husband? You know what I mean? And she ends up having a near-death experience at some point. And this near-death experience ends up moving her into her fantasy novel. So she has to go see her husband, which, by the way, her husband, her like character inspired by her husband, for some reason is having the memories of her husband sometimes. And so, you know, her character at the end of the book is supposed to die, but you know, she's like changing the storyline low-key, but she's also seeing other changes that weren't made from her in the storyline. So it's just very interesting to watch, honestly. I need to finish it because I think the series did finish. So, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is it today. If I did not mention your series, I apologize. I'm just trying to like think of things on the top of my head, you know? But I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope you go check these people out because they're so cool. Anyways, have a good one. Bye.